So if you're welcome, you're on the call live, welcome and thanks for joining us. And if you're watching the recording, thanks for watching the recording. So we're just live streaming into the Sisel World Team group at the moment. So I've got Dr. Curt with me today and I'm helping out with his software. He's on a boat, as you can see, enjoying the great outdoors. And today we're going to be talking about 4 ways to share Sisel products with people and share those benefits. So we're going to get started here in just a second. I'm just going to bring up a slide here and just bear with me for a second.
I'm going to shut my camera off.
Okay, and just while I'm doing this for everyone on the call, Sisel Corporate sent out an email this morning. Hang on a minute. Sorry, Sisel Corporate sent out an email this morning and it has a calendar of events for the month. There's a lot going on there. So do check out your email and have a look at that email and go through the events they're sharing. Okay, I'm just making sure I've logged into everything here. All right, I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen, Dr. Curt?
I do.
Yeah, okay, great. So today we're going to talk about 4 ways to share Sisel products. And, you know, we've got so many tools and resources at our fingertips. And like Dr. Curt said, you know, you always want to know, have in the front of your mind when you start talking about, you know, health, when you start talking about natural products and you're connecting with someone, what resource are you going to actually share with them? And you might want to pick out some favorites for yourself. You know, everybody's different. Some people prefer certain products than others. And so, you know, based on that, then you want to find a couple of good resources that you can use. I might just mute. Yeah, I can hear the boat, Dr. Curt. I might just get you to mute and then unmute when we chat about it. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, so you might figure out the products that you really like and then focus on finding a couple of really good resources for that so that when you're having a conversation with someone, you can point to the tools. So I'm going to go through quite a few of the tools that we have available to us today. Many of you may already know these, but it's a great opportunity to refresh your memory on them and go back over them. So you might want to grab a pen and paper and jot down some notes because that could be quite useful for you. So the first one is the Sisel app. So let me just bring here, I'm just going to escape out of my phone. I've got a great little program on my computer that lets me share my phone to the computer. So let me just share my phone to the computer. And here we go. And there it is. Dr. Curt, can you see my phone?
I do.
Okay, great. So I'm logged into my phone at the moment. And so the first tool that I wanted to show you that I believe everyone on the call should be using and everyone who brings anyone new into the organization, be it a customer or a distributor, definitely get them to install the Sisel app. Now I've got so many apps on my screen, sometimes it's hard to find it. So I just do a quick search for it. Normally it puts it at the top. Let's see here. So there it is. I've searched it on my phone. So this is the Sisel app. And if you're on the call and you haven't used it, please install it. It's free. It's a great tool. Sisel did start charging for it at the beginning, but then they've now made it free. And the good thing about this app is it's for customers too. You do not have to be a distributor to use this app. You can be a customer as well. And that means the customer then gets access to all this great information. So Sisel are getting a lot better at their social marketing, which you may have noticed. There's a lot more effort going into it. You can see here there's a scrolling banner at the top with some promotional material. We've got the Deets, which is a new series done by Thomas Mauer. Thomas Mauer is the son of Tom Mauer Jr., who's the CEO of the company. And he's putting out some great content on our different products. So you can go into the app and you can access all those podcasts in here. And Sisel are also running lots of different competitions now. So you can get involved in the competitions through your app. And this is a great way to encourage new people, anyone existing, think of any existing customers or any existing distributors that you have in your team that, you could, make it a topic of conversation. So you could just call them, say, hi, just checking in, how you're going with everything. I wanted to let you know about a great free tool that you might like to install on your phone and have a look at. So that would be a great conversation to have with people. Now, the way they actually log in is once they've installed it on their phone, it's available for Androids and iPhones. You use your Sisel login details. Now, it needs to be exactly as it is that you log in with your back office. So whatever your username is, and it's case sensitive. So it's really important that you get it exactly right, and your password case sensitive, and you put that in and it'll let you into the app, and then you can access all this great information. Now there's a feature in here I really like to turn off, and I'll show you. I don't find it very useful, and I'm going to show you that. So once you're into the app, you can see in the bottom right corner, let me just move this bar here. I'm going to move it across a little bit. So in the bottom right corner, you can see there's more. So if you're on the call now or you're watching the recording, you might want to follow along with me here, and then it'll help you learn this a little bit better. But in the right-hand corner, if you click on more, you've got settings and my profile. So I'm going to go into my profile here. Actually, I'm logged into my mum's account. That's okay. She's a customer. I was testing that she could actually do that, and in fact, she can. And so you see you've got share options here. So you've got my info. So you can put a photo of yourself, your email address and things like this. And then you've got share options, lead capture. So you can turn that on or off. Now, I like to have that off because the lead capture is an additional screen they put in front of people to get them to fill in like address and phone number. And then they can't go past that screen unless they've filled in all those details. So I actually turn that off, but you can have a play with that. You might like to try turning it on and off. I recommend turning it off. I actually think it gets in the way because you can still see who is accessing the information you shared. So say you've got a customer. Okay, so say I go into products and you've got a little C all there. So I click on that and I want to share with Curt some information about TSX. So I'm going to scroll down. You've got images. And then you've also got PDFs. So I want to share the PDF. And of course, in our PDF range, we have two types of PDFs. We have a brochure for each of the products, and we also have a PIP, which stands for Product Information Page. So say I wanted to share some information here with Dr. Curt. I want to share something on eternity. I just click on that, and then I can email it, SMS it, copy it, or download it. So I'm going to SMS it to Curt. It's asking if you want to sync. I'm just going to say no for the moment. Yes. And I'm just going to search for Curt's name. And there he is. And then I send the message and away it goes and it shoots it off. So you can put a little message with it and it'll send it off. So there we go. It says SMS successfully sent. So Curt, if you want to jump on your phone now and go and access that PDF I've just sent you, and we'll see what happens in my app. Hopefully you can hear me. Can you unmute and let me know?
You want me to look at the app that you?
I know, just go into your messages and click on the link I just sent you from the app.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. All right. So.
Yeah, so I got the Eternity brochure and I can download the PDF from there.
Okay. So when somebody accesses the link, it normally will update and send you a notification. So it might actually be sending it to my.
So I'm gonna download it now.
Oh, okay, right. Download it now. Yep.
And then okay, so that should tell you in your phone. It should tell you that I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So the reason it may not have is because this phone is not synced with the contacts. So the actual app, you need to sync it with your contacts for you to get notifications. So that's probably why it's not working. And I've just logged into my mum's customer account to see that it actually works for customers too. And if it in fact does. And this is really important too, because customers, when they log into their back office, they actually don't have access to the resources in the back office. And that's the next thing I'm going to show you. So that's a little bit about the app. There's a lot of information in there, and it will take you a bit of time to get used to it. So it's something you might want to just go into, once or twice a week and, have a play around until you get used to using it. So that's a really important tool there.
That's
so
what I was going to say, Katie, for most people, that the best thing they can do is jump in, log into that, and start sending stuff out to people. Send it out to your friends that aren't in Sisel and just say, hey, I'm practicing with this new app that I have, and I just want to make sure that I'm sending these brochures out, and tell them the whole thing. Just say, I can tell when you open it, and I just want to see if it's working for me. And so all those people that you've prospected before and they're just not interested, just tell them you're practicing.
Yeah. Yep. Right.
And then you can send it out to them. And it's amazing how many people will actually read the stuff that you send them when you don't make them obligated to do so.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially because it's on their phone. So anything that gets sent as a text message has a massively high read rate compared to sending, a bulk email and things like that. But, the important thing is if you do send someone a fact sheet, make sure you follow up with them, get back in touch with them, find out, what they thought or how they feel about that information, because that's really important, the follow-up. It's all well sending it out. It's very few people will come and say, yeah, I definitely want to buy that. Normally, it's important to follow up with that call. So that's a little bit about the app. So we've got the app. So, as you're bringing in new people into the organization, and again, with your existing people, give them a call and invite them to install the free Sisel app. All right. So now I'm going to stop this share here. Let me just stop. Okay. So the next way too is also, if you don't want to install the app, but you still want to use the app is actually available as a website as well. So if you've got a pen and paper, you might want to write this down. So it's siselapp.mysecureoffice.com. And I'm just going to go to this screen here. So you can actually log into a website version of the app, and that's the address I gave you. And in here, you can do pretty much all the same stuff. If I go to videos, you can share videos with people. You've got the PDFs here. You can create presentations and share them. You can actually do a lot of stuff, and I'm not going to go through it all on this call because there's no way you would remember it anyway. But the main thing is that that it exists. Now I'm going to move this out of the way here. So you can see the website address at the top is siselapp.mysecureoffice.com. And you can see in there you can access all the PDFs and basically everything. And again, the customers can access this too. So that's another really important tool or version of that. So the next thing I wanted to go through is the resource library. So when you log into your Sisel account, and this is only for distributors, you see. So if you are a customer, you wouldn't see this information. But as a distributor, you can log into your back office and access the resources. So say, you've had a conversation with someone, you were talking about immune health, and you got onto the topic of how you were using the product called Influence. And obviously when you're having conversations with people, you want to be using the product that you're sharing, or at the very least have a really good story about it to share with someone, which you can also do. So if we just go down to the pips, I'm just scrolling down. Actually, another quick way to find things on a page like this, you've got a search feature on the left side, but you can actually, on your keyboard, you've got a Control F, which stands for find. So if I go Control F and I type in influence, now it's jumped down the page, and now I can find that fact sheet. So you can see it says PIP. So I've got the fact sheet there. So once you're in your back office and you're under the resources tab and you say, oh, I was talking to Mary about immune health, and she already knows that I'm using Sisel products, and I'm going to talk about another way in case they've never heard of Sisel before. So you can come into your back office and you say, look, I'll send some information to you on the product. And you can come in and you can mouse over that link and you can right click and go copy as link. Now, if you're using an Apple Macintosh, it might be left click. And if you're using a phone, I think you just click on the link and hold your finger on it and it goes copy link. So you need to get familiar with how to copy and paste. And I've taught this a lot in the trainings that I've done on Monday nights. A key skill that you absolutely must learn is how to copy and paste things. Because it doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're doing Sisel or work or sending emails to friends for personal things, to learn the copy and paste skill is really important. So you can see here, moused over, it brings up a little menu when I right click. This is for a PC, by the way. Copy link address. So I'm going to click copy link address. I'm going to come into my email here. And I'm just going to move that in. I'm going to create a new memo, new email. And then I can right click and I can go paste. And now it's paste that link. And so I could send that to, say if I was sending it to Curt. And so link on influence product. So this is, and then you could put, obviously a nice message. This is the product we were talking about. And say something like that. So that's really important. And, influence is one of the products I love. And just while I'm on the topic of influence, Curt, do you want to just share with people a couple of the key ingredients on influence and how it really helps with the immune system?
You bet. One of the main ingredients in it is elderberry. Mm-hmm. And elderberry has really been found to help with viral infections. I won't name viral infections because it seems like you just upset people. But some things that are going on in the world right now, and elderberry helps with helping to prevent that cytotoxic storm. But there's some other things in there too. There's some quercetin. When you look up that ingredient and you compare it to other products that are used, the medical researchers actually said it was one of the top nutritional products as far as fighting this viral infection that's going on in the world right now. There's a couple other things. Star anise, which it's got what's called shikimic acid in it, and shikimic acid helps with the with stopping the replication of a viral infection, a coronavirus infection, because of how they replicate in your cells. So those are three that I mainly talk about.
Okay, yeah. So again, we can't make any claims regarding our product, but people can go away and do the research on those ingredients. And Dr. Curt's done some great talks on influence, and they're on his YouTube channel, which we're going to come to next. So that's a little bit about sharing fact sheets from your back office. So let me just flip back to so have a look if you're on the call now. And again, this is only for distributors, this one. This is why I like the app better, because the app is for customers and distributors, and we want to get that app out there. Or the other thing too I mentioned about the app is if you have a new customer or distributor and they've installed the app, they're going to get notifications. So when Sisel's running a competition or there's a new podcast release on one of our products, a little notification is going to pop up on their phone and say, hey, a new podcast or new Deets video. So that's really important too, because then they're obviously more likely to engage in the content. And one thing that, Dr. Curt and I have discussed, which is really important, is, our company is very much a product-based company, and it's important that people help others and teach them the value of our products and what makes them different, what makes them unique. So these resources are really useful for that. And that brings me on to my next method that I'm going to share with you today is the Sisel International YouTube channel. So if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, do go onto youtube.com, type in Sisel, and you'll find the Sisel logo like this, and you can click subscribe to the channel. And then you'll get notifications when Sisel publishes a video. So you'll find videos on here that you might like to keep in your library and keep the link so that when you are talking to people and you've had a conversation with them already and they know about Sisel because you've actually mentioned it to them, then, you know, you can share some videos from here. Now, my favorite one, if I had to pick one that I would share with someone, would be how our supplements are made. So a virtual tour of the Sisel manufacturing plant. And if you're on the call or you're watching the recording and you haven't actually watched that video, I do invite you to go have a look at it. It's 7 minutes long. It has been updated with a new voiceover and it's a new version. We've had other versions of it with, older versions, and this one's now updated. So definitely have a look at that, but that could be something you could share with someone because anyone can go to the supermarket or the chemist and buy supplements, but really, where are they getting them from? Who's made them? What's the quality like? So these are really important things. And this is what makes the difference between someone buying ours versus just going into a store and buying any old thing on the shelf. If you don't understand, why you're actually doing that, then, it's not going to matter to you. So that's why it's really important to share tools like this. So do have a look at that video. It's called How Supplements Are Made. And it's a 7-minute video. Now, if I actually click on it, so you come into the YouTube channel,
with Nordic Track.
And it's got look at that, it's got an ad. I'll have to tell them to disable that.
Through Antarctica.
Okay, they've got ads enabled on that video. Okay, well, that's okay, that can be disabled. So I'll just go skip ads. I mean, I think people get used to ads being on things anyway, but they can disable that. So anyway, I'm on the video now. And so how would you share this with someone? So you've got a share button here and you can click the share button. And so then it brings up a bunch of different options. You can email it, you can send it via WhatsApp, you can share it on Facebook and Twitter, Talk, it must be another social media platform, and embeds only if you're putting it on a website, so you don't need to worry about that one. So you would just click copy. And you've got another great feature too. So this is an excellent feature that you may not be aware of. See at the bottom, it says start. So say you were sharing a video, but you just wanted to show them a section in the video. You could watch the video yourself and go to that section and then click start. So I'll show you how to do that because that's quite a useful thing to know. And again, all the stuff I'm sharing on today's call, you definitely would need a pen and paper and be jotting these down if you really want to learn some of these things or even remember them. So if I go copy, so now I've copied that video. So you can just click email, but I'm going to close that. I'm going to go back into my email and I'm going to click on new email and then I'm going to right click again. So remember, we're talking about learning how to copy and paste. So I right click, I go paste, and then I'm going to send it to Curt again. So here is the video on how these supplements are made. It's really good. So something like this. So, this is, and again, you would only be sharing these sort of tools with someone that you've already had a conversation with about Sisel. So if they don't know anything about Sisel at all, I wouldn't just go send that to someone with no discussion at all. I don't think that will work very well. So that's the third ways. So let me just come back here. So that's one of my favorite videos. So I'll come back and you can go through all the other videos here and have a look as well. We've also got the WhatsApp call. I'll just mention that here. Not that I would send that to a brand new person. If they've joined the company, I would, but not if they've not joined. I wouldn't send it to them. The WhatsApp call is really for updates for distributors and customers, but you will get all the updates on what's in and out of stock and how long they're going to be till they're back in stock on that call. So that's really important to mention. So we've talked about the app today. We've talked about YouTube. We've discussed using the back office and your resources section. Again, that's only for distributors. So that's 3 ways. Now, what about if you've never, if they know nothing about Sisel, but you're just talking to them about the benefits of health products? Actually, before I jump into, I know I'm jumping around a bit, I've got so much to cover. There are 2 other channels you can check out too, which is Dr. Curt's channel. Well, actually, I'll just mention Dr. Kurt's at this moment. Sisel World Team, he's got some great videos where he uploads the doctor's clinic. So if just go SWT, actually you have to type it in, Sisel World Team. So that's the other YouTube channel. So Dr. Kurt's channel, and it's got all the videos there. So CBD, what do you need to know? Find out more about CBD, whole body wellness, men's health. So he's got a lot of great videos on there that he's uploaded as well. So you might like to go in and listen to those. And then if you find one you really like, you could share it with your person, your customer, or your distributor. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the fourth way. So the fourth way is using PubMed and Healthline. And I might get you to chime in here, Curt. So if I wanted to share the benefits of, say, Eternity to someone, and I hadn't told them about Sisel, I just told them that I've got a really great product. It's a resveratrol product, and I wanted to share the benefits of that product with them. There's two websites that you can refer to. One is PubMed and the other one is Healthline. So again, if you've got a pen and paper, you might want to write these down and keep a note in your diary or in your phone. So I'm going to just go back to Google here. So the best way to get to PubMed, you can just type in PubMed and then you can click on the link. So this is a medical research library of papers that are done on that. So Curt, actually, if you want to unmute and just say something about PubMed.
You bet. I use PubMed quite a lot because you can, if you know the active ingredient in the product that you're looking for, you can Google it. You just put, like I might type in resveratrol. It's the active ingredient in Eternity. And then I'll go resveratrol and I'll go PubMed. And I'll just type that into my search bar, into my search engine. And it's going to bring up a bunch of different articles, and you can scroll down through them and you can look at them and see which kind of fits for what you're looking for. Say you want to find one that, how does resveratrol relate to, say, heart disease, for example? And so you can scroll through them. You can find the one that relates to heart disease, and then you can send that to the person that you want to use. The biggest thing about using PubMed is always that DSHEA, which is the Dietary Supplementary Act, they said that we can use the research, but you just want to make sure that, like, if I'm looking up resveratrol, and we know that Sisel has the best resveratrol with Eternity, we don't want people to think that we're saying, oh, this research was done on our product. Yeah, so no. I'll go out of my way to point out. I'll say, hey, Katie, I'm sending you an article on resveratrol, but it wasn't done on our product. See, and that just gets you off the hook. So if anybody ever says, oh, you're making medical claims, you can say, no, I actually said, no, it wasn't on our product. Yeah, definitely. And so this is something that you'd send just in a separate email and say, I'm talking about the ingredients here. Remember, I was talking about the power of this ingredient. Then once, you've shared that information, then in a separate conversation, you can start talking about our product. So that is a really important point, because we don't want to pretend that these studies are done specifically on our product, because they're not at all. They're done on the ingredient. And so that's important, as Dr. Kurt's note. So there's other things you can search on. So as Dr. Curt said, you need to know the key ingredients. So I've got a few here. So if you've got a pen and paper, you might want to write them down. So one is you can search resveratrol. So resveratrol is for Eternity. It's in there, but again, it's not specifically our product. Another key ingredient, obviously, you can do lots of research on the benefits of CBD. So that would be another great one to look up. Fucoidan. So fucoidan, spelt as the actual ingredient, is FUCOIDAN. And so you can search on fucoidan, and it brings up lots of different articles there. So again, that's a good word to search for that particular ingredient. And then what would you search? Choline, that's a pretty good one to search too, isn't it, Dr. Curt? You still there? Say it again.
Choline.
I'm trying to unmute.
Yeah, choline. Which product?
Yeah. Acetylcholine.
Yeah, acetylcholine. Would it matter if you
Yeah.
didn't put the
Yeah,
acetyl?
that's what.
How would you spell that?
If you what?
How would you spell that?
Choline, CHOLINE.
Yeah, okay, good. So that's another one. So you need to look for the key ingredients, I guess, that are in different products if you were just trying to illustrate how an ingredient might work. Again, we're not making claims regarding our product. So PubMed is a great resource. Another great resource
Katie,
yeah. Yeah.
I was just going to say on Tuesdays on my doctor's clinic call, I go over a lot of the ingredients. I go over a lot of the products, and I try and relate them to medical issues and things like that. And I do it in a way where I'm not making any medical claims. But the nice thing about it is then you've got the information, and I try and give people the websites, the actual PubMed website, so they can go look it up. It's not that they have to do a ton of searches that way. I'm trying to make it duplicatable by giving them the information. That's right.
And another great website, I know you use this one a little bit too, Curt, because I know you've sent me some articles from this. One would be, niacin. So that's in our H pill, but, some people want to know about the niacin flush, which can happen. So they've got some great articles on here that go through and tell people what it is. And again, you can do all the same searches that we did on that we were showing you with examples on PubMed. You can do them on this website too. It's healthline.com. So here, this article here, this is great. 7 health benefits of resveratrol supplements. So independent third-party research. It's not specifically on our product. We're just talking about the ingredients. Another great resource. So that's healthline.com. And even for your own knowledge, I highly recommend anyone on the call live or listening to the recording, if you really want to learn a little bit more about health and things that can help you with specific challenges that you're working through, you can do a little bit of research on Healthline and PubMed for yourself. That might be useful. And of course, I always recommend going back to your doctor. I've got a great doctor that does look at all this stuff. He's a integrated doctor. He's a fully qualified naturopath as well as a general practitioner. And so he's fully on board with looking at all this natural health information, which is fabulous. So hopefully your doctor's open to that too. So that was the 4 ways that I had to share. The last way that I'm just going to stop my share here. Let's see. Yeah, great. So the last thing I wanted to mention is 3-way calls is really important. So, jumping on a call with Dr. Curt, or if you're in my team, myself or Dr. Curt, and, introducing someone to somebody else in your support team, and also getting them to, have a chat to them about sort of what are they looking for, whether it be business or, product or health information. A 3-way call is a really powerful way. So Dr. Curt has kindly set up some times for us. So on Wednesdays, he's available between 8 and 8:40, 8:45 and 9:25, and 9:30 and 10:15. So he's set aside those times for us. And if you want to make a booking at one of those time slots, be it for yourself or a customer or a distributor in your team, you can have a call with him and have a chat. So I'm not sure what the time is there for the United States people. Obviously, it's not Wednesday. It's Tuesday night in the US for those time slots. Curt, what time is 8 o'clock Wednesday night in the US?
So that would be 8 o'clock in the morning, you mean?
Yeah, so 8 o'clock Wednesday morning, our time. What time is it in the evening for you?
Yep. So 8 o'clock in the morning is 5 o'clock in the evening here on Tuesday. So I've set aside that time from 5 o'clock till 8, approximately 8:30 to do conference calls. But just get a hold of me. I mean, you all know that I'm willing to help anybody. But that's sometimes where you can set up an appointment. But just text me or email me too.
Yeah, great. So, excellent. So that's sort of wraps up the call. So Dr. Curt is available during those times, and that's a really powerful resource to use, obviously. So those are the key ways that you can be sharing information. And then, of course, if you're in my team and you're watching the call, we've got other specific ways using Facebook groups, which obviously I'm not going to cover on today's call and that you already are aware of. So that's about it. So was there anything else you want to add in for today, Curt?
You bet. Well, Katie, I really appreciate you putting this all together and having those resources for people. You know, the big thing is that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That's what I've always been taught. You know, if you totally screw up and you just say, oh, no, I said that all wrong. You know, and you send them something else. And if they say, oh, you know, hey, I don't have enough time to watch a video. I don't have enough time to watch video. And then Katie's going to say to me, she's going to say, Curt, well, it's a 5-minute video. Yeah, Katie, just tell me what's on the video. And then, so the answer that Katie really has to have, and all of us need to get used to this, me including, is that we need to have that answer that basically says this: look, you know, if I try to explain it to you, it's going to take me a half an hour to say what this 5-minute video says. And I'm probably going to say.
Oh, you've cut out. Did we lose you? Oh, I think we've lost him. His internet. Oh, there he is. He's back.
I'm back. Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, it faded me out. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that's really, really important, is learn how to get people so they actually pay attention to the video. And you know, and what's nice about the Sisel app is you can tell when they actually went to look at it. And so you can call somebody up and I can say, hey, Katie, I sent you the video and I can tell that you haven't watched it yet. She's going to go, oh, how can you tell that that I haven't watched it yet? Or me, she might try and lie to me and say, oh, yeah. And I said, really? I bet you didn't. What was your favorite part? You know, but, you know, just kind of, you know, the fortune's in the follow-up. To make sure and follow up with people and the 3-way calls. I mean, you know, a good friend of mine, he passed away earlier this year, but he used to always say, he'd say 3-way or fade away, you know, and what that means is that, you know, it just adds credibility to what you're doing if you have somebody else on the call.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, great. Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks everyone for jumping on the call.
Yeah, and Buddy says it's time to go.
All right, sorry about that. Anyway, we're just finishing. So thanks for jumping on. And
Thanks,
we'll catch
everyone.
you next time.
Thanks, Katie.
Thank you.